Hello, and welcome to BigBookCTK.com. My name is Tusney, and I'm reading out from The Speeches of Mark Twain, The Story of a Speech by Mark Twain. An address delivered in 1877, and a review of it 29 years later. The original speech was delivered at a dinner given by the publishers of the Atlantic Monthly in honor of the 70th anniversary of the birth of John Greenleaf Whittier at the Hotel Brunswick, Boston, December 17, 1877. This is an occasion peculiarly meet for the digging up of pleasant reminiscences concerning literary folk. Therefore, I will drop lightly into history myself. Standing here on the shore of the Atlantic, and contemplating certain of its largest literary billows, I am reminded of a thing which happened to me 13 years ago, when I had just succeeded in stirring up a little Nevadian literary puddle myself, whose spoonflakes were beginning to blow thinly California-ward. I started an inspection tramp through the southern mines of California. I was callow and conceited, and I resolved to try the virtue of my nom de guerre. I very soon had an opportunity. I knocked at a miner's lonely log cabin in the foothills of the Sierras just at nightfall. It was snowing at the time. A jaded, melancholy man of 50, barefooted, opened the door to me. When he heard my nom de guerre, he looked more dejected than before. He let me in, pretty reluctantly, I thought, and after the customary bacon and beans, black coffee and hot whiskey, I took a pipe. This sorrowful man had not said 3 words up to this time. Now he spoke up and said, in the voice of one who is secretly suffering, "You're the fourth." "I'm going to move." "The fourth what?" said I. "The fourth literary man that has been here in 24 hours. I'm going to move." "You don't tell me so," said I. "Who were the others? Mr. Longfellow, Mr. Emerson, and Mr. Oliver Wendell Holmes. Confound the lot." You can easily believe I was interested. I supplicated. 3 hot whiskies did the rest, and finally the melancholy miner began. Said he, they came here just at dark yesterday evening, and I let them in, of course. Said they were going to the Yosemite. They were a rough lot, but that's nothing. Everybody looks rough that travels afoot. Mr. Emerson was a seedy little bit of a chap, red-headed. Mr. Holmes was as fat as a balloon. He'd weighed as much as 300 and had double chins all the way down to his stomach. Mr. Longfellow was built like a prize fighter. His head was cropped and bristly, right as if he had a wig made of hairbrushes. His nose lay straight down, his face like a finger with the end joint tilted up. They had been drinking, I could see that. And what queer talk they used. Mr. Holmes inspected his cabin, then he took me by the buttonhole, and, says he, "Through the deep caves of thought, I hear a voice that sings, 'There'll be more stately mansions, oh my soul.' Says I can't afford it, Mr. Holmes, and moreover, I don't want to. Blamed if I liked it pretty well, either, coming from a stranger that way." However, I started to get up my bacon and beans, when Mr. Emerson came and looked on a while, and then he takes me aside by the buttonhole and said, "Give me agates for my meat. Give me canterids to eat. From air and ocean bring me food, from all zones and altitudes." Says I, "Mr. Emerson, if you'll excuse me, this ain't no hotel." You see, it sort of riled me. I weren't used to the ways of literary swells. But I went on a sweating over my work, and next comes Mr. Longfellow and buttonholes me and interrupts me. Says he, "Honour be to Mudcules. You should hear how Popoque is." Thank you very much for watching. You've been listening to The Speeches of Mark Twain, The Story of a Speech by Mark Twain. My name is Tusi, and this is BigBookCTK.com. Thank you very much, and bye for now.